Okay, so for my Genius Hour project, I did welding. So the three different welders that I compared were oxyacetylene gas welding, wire feed or MIG welding, and then stick or arc welding. So for the strength, oxyacetylene is the oldest and has been around for longer than, well, I shouldn't say this, but anyways, so it is used for bending, heating, cutting metal, and there's a couple different things that it's been used in automotive, construction, plumbing, and piping, or pipe, whatever. So wire feed is the easiest to use. It's simple and it's efficient. Yeah. And then stick welding, it's the strongest and been popular for pipe welding. Okay, so weaknesses. The oxyacetylene is has a slow heating rate and heats a bigger area, where the other two are more specific on where you're working. And then wire feed, it can get pretty expensive for your machine and your tools. You can't weld in the same positions as the other ones sometimes because you're not able to fit the gun in where you need to weld. And it cools fast, so you can weld right next to it or on top of it if you had to right away. Stick welding, most electrodes can have low penetration, and arc blow can occur if you're where your welding gets too hot and you can blow a hole in your metal. And it requires more skill than the other two to use. There's a picture of each kind of welding. Proper clothing is very important. If you don't have proper clothing, you can injure yourself or go blind from it. Proper clothing is leather gloves, a leather jacket, a welding helmet or goggles. Uh, you need to have closed-toed leather boots or welding boots and a leather jacket or long sleeve shirt or an apron over your clothes. Different functions that can be done are, like I said before, this is your welding tip, cutting, and then your heating tip. The heating tip is a rosebud, which has little holes rather than one big hole, so you can heat rather than uh, weld with it. Um, this one is your cutting tip, which is used similar to this one, except this lever here is once you get it heated up, it'll blow. It'll blow the oxygen a burst, and then that'll blow the heated metal out, so you have a hole. And then this one, you just make a heated puddle, and then you just push your puddle across the metal to make your weld bead. Wire feed. It's simplest, easier to perform. It uses a gun with a motor in the machine that pushes the wire from the spool up through the hose into the gun, and then you can have a tank of gas hooked up to it to run your, I think it's 75%. I don't remember what the gas is, but it's 75% to 25% ratio. And then there's two different types of wire. There's solid wire, which you need gas for, and then there's flux core wire, which has a coating on it, and that you do not need gas for. And then your stick is good for rusty, older metal that's been sitting outside and heavy equipment is and construction is what that is good for. Okay. Maybe that must be it.